Well, the heels of that overtime thriller in the nation's capital, welcome to Vancouver and a showdown of 2-1 teams. East meets West again. It's the Argos and Lions under the roof at BC Place.
Home sweet home for Lions quarterback Travis Lulay, who is 18-1 under the dome at BC Place, 5-2 career versus the Toronto Argonauts. On the other sideline, he is the top-rated quarterback in the CFL coming into this week's action. 3-1 as a starter, but it's his first start, Trevor Harris, here in BC Place against the Lions.
Scott Milanovich and the Argos come off the bye in their first loss of the year in Calgary. Last year they ended an 11-game losing streak here in BC Place with a 40-23 victory. And on the other sidelines, Jeff Tedford looking for his third consecutive win after back-to-back victories over the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Road team won each of the meetings last year between these two clubs. Terrific first game in our Wendy's Friday night doubleheader, and this should be a good one too. Expecting a lot of offense as Ronnie Pepper kicks it off. It'll be Shaq Murray Lawrence, the Scarborough native, running against the Argos and getting hauled down quickly. So Travis Lulay, he mentioned 18-1 at BC Place Stadium 2 weeks ago, over 400 yards passing. Last week, 105 on the ground.
A career high for Travis Lulay, that 105 yards rushing against Saskatchewan at Mosaic Stadium. Trevor Harris, almost 300 yards in the last 2 games against the Riders. He's back and has that form from a couple of years ago. And the top lineman, much improved offensive line for BC, is Tommy Draham at left tackle.
Lions start at their 24. Lulay stands in, second read, downfield, and broken up. Travis Hawkins there defensively. Pass intended for A.C. Leonard, who led the Lions last week with 4 catches and a pair of touchdowns.
Yeah, had a couple of touchdowns last week on push routes. There's the starters to watch defensively. Opla Ugo off the edge, still looking for his first sack of the season. Had 12 last year. Corey Greenwood really coming into his own, maybe the top defender for that Toronto defense, and all import secondary.
2nd and 10. Lulay steps up, dumps it off to Andrew Harris, and he is dropped at the 33. It'll be close to the first down. Looks like he's going to be less than a yard short. Harris 19 touches, 118 yards last week, including 94 on the ground.
Good reaction here from Andrew Harris. He's going to look for any blitzer first. Try and read. No blitzer. He can release, and Lulay drops it to him, but Jeff Tedford not in a gambling mood early.
3rd and a full yard, and so on comes Richie Leone. And Chad Owens drops deep. Leone off to a great start in his rookie year. Here's Owens, little crease, and after the 55-yard Leone punt, Owens returns it close to the Argo 35. So here's Trevor Harris, who leads the league in pass rating efficiency and touchdown passes.
Yeah, those 9 touchdown passes. Also been sacked more than any quarterback in the CFL coming into this week, and that hasn't seemed to bother him. 3-1 as a starter going back to last year. Just start number 5 for him, but his first chance to sort of overcome adversity. Gets his center back in Jeff Keeping. First start for him due to injury.
Argos 3rd in points, yards, and passing yards. And Harris, a lot of misdirection. Brandon Whitaker is open for a first down and a cut back to the 50 before he's dropped by Solomon Elimimian.
Scott Milanovich said yesterday that they want to get the ball into the hands of Brandon Whitaker more often. He just hasn't had enough touches, 28 in 3 games this year, and to get him established early, whether it be the short passing game like on this play or trying to establish that run, can open up the deep ball later in the game.
Just 8 touches, 53 yards against Calgary. 15 on his first catch of this game and a first down up at the 50. Back into his hands, and Whitaker with a scamper to midfield has 5, and they want better first down production on the ground for the Argos.
The matchup will be Brandon Whitaker in that run game against two of the top linebackers in the CFL. Solomon Elamimian in the middle and Adam Bighill, 23 tackles, leads his team. Put TJ Lee in because 14 tackles for Lee at the halfback spot means one thing. He's getting picked on a little bit. See the matchup tonight against Toronto.
Bighill third in the league in tackles, Elamimian fourth. 2nd and 5, another quick hitter, and the catch is made by Hazelton, who led the Argos last week, 6 catches, 98 yards, and there's another second down conversion catch and a flag down.
Yeah, late flag there. I'm not sure if there was some little bit of trash talking, but Hazelton, you take a look at this receiving core. They have a distinct height advantage.
After the play, objectionable conduct, Toronto, taunting, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So he got 11 and a first down. They'll mark it back 10, and Hazelton pleads his case.
Yeah, he got right in the face of Ronnie Yell after the catch. Talk about the mismatch. You get Torrey Gurley, Kevin Elliott, and Vidal Hazelton. You're almost at 6'4" across the board.
So at the line 54, it is a first down. And Harris looks like he changes the play with 4 receivers to the near side. Fakes to Whitaker, and Anthony Coombs has got it. And the University of Manitoba Bison product has another first down right in front of the guy he looks up to, Andrew Harris, another Winnipeg native.
Take a look at this receiving core across the board. That's one of the smaller guys in Anthony Coombs. He and Chad Owens are the little playmakers coming out of the backfield. Of course, Coombs playing for Andre Dury, getting more playing time. But you take a look at Kevin Elliott, Torrey Gurley, and Hazelton. You're at 6'3.5" against 5'10" across the board in the matchup for the Lions secondary. Pressure clearly on the secondary for BC tonight.
Another first down, double tight end formation. Harris will throw, and it's intercepted. Ford Parks has got it. And Trevor Harris has been picked off for the 3rd time this year. Fourth interception for the Lions. It snuffs a Argo drive in BC territory.
In Vancouver.
That's fine.
Set up the matchup between Kevin Elliott and this secondary. Cord Parks 1. Toronto receivers nothing so far.
Here's Harris straight ahead, and he'll pull his way to close to the 45.
Hazelton and Chad Owens going to run a little change motion here with Owens coming inside and Hazelton coming out and running his route on Cord Parks. But this is film study, folks, for Cord Parks to read this route, cut underneath it like this, not worrying that Elliott may go deep on the play. Cuts it under because he's seen the play on tape a few times.
8 for Harris, 2nd and 2, and he gets that and a lot more. And after watching Travis Lulay on the zone read last week, the Argos will have to be as wary of the quarterback as the star tailback.
Yeah, and the right side of that offensive line, Javon Olafioye, T-Dre player, they're going to open it up, and you got to establish your tailback if you want to run this zone read successfully. You got to get Andrew Harris running first. That's what they did last week in Saskatchewan. Worked perfectly.
Got 12 and BC into Argo territory. And the fly sweep to Shaq Murray-Lawrence is cut down at midfield.
At 105 yards rushing was a career high for Travis Lulay. It was interesting talking to Jeff Tedford yesterday about it. And he said, I don't think Saskatchewan defensively contained Lulay. He said, I think they didn't think he was going to run because of his health issues from the past, but he did early and often.
Didn't go into the game anticipating that. Here's 2nd and 12 and a big conversion. Courtney Taylor was quiet last week. Just 1 catch, 7 yards at Mosaic. Targeted only 3 times, but he has 20 on his first catch tonight.
Kirby Fabian and Tommy Draheim on that side of the offensive line open up a throwing lane here for Travis Lulay, and he can drop it right in there to Courtney Taylor.
Going to hurry up and going back up the middle to Andrew Harris for about 3.
Just look at one more time that previous play, the throwing lane right to that hole for Courtney Taylor. steps up, no one in his face, and Courtney Taylor at his end of the route makes sure he settles down in the hole.
So 2nd and 7 at the Toronto 33.
An audible here.
4 receivers near side. Fake to Harris. They'll shovel it to Leonard. A.C. Leonard, the big hybrid tight end, has a first down.
You got to like that play unless you're a DB playing against it. Get that little screen out there to a guy who's 6'2", 255. Now those DBs have to come up and try and make the tackle.
So first down for Leonard. They continue in the hurry up, and there's Leonard with another catch. Shrugged off the first contact. Tight end size, wide receiver speed, and he creates some mismatches.
Well, this is Jeff Tedford as well. Early on, they go deep to A.C. Leonard. Don't hook up on the throw, but Leonard establishes right off the bat that he's going to take the Toronto secondary deep, and the last 2 catches are underneath.
Arsenault and Gore, the wide out, 2nd and 2. Back to Harris, and it's a BC first down. Down to the 10.
Boy, that play of this old line in BC has improved tenfold from a year ago. They lead the league coming into this week, only allowing 2 sacks in 3 games. And watch Andrew Harris just follow in there, take his time, find the block. They get good aggressive play down the field. TJ Player gets his kick out. Nice bubble for Harris to pick up good yards.
Including this drive, no sacks allowed in the last 33 BC Lion possessions. So it's 1st and 10. And Harris, misdirection, touchdown! An 11-yard touchdown run for Andrew Harris off the interception, and the Lions strike first.
Javon Olafioye is going to pull around from his right tackle spot and doesn't really have to block anybody. He's just going to escort Andrew Harris into the end zone. Big 63, counting around that edge. Really doesn't have to block anybody. Well executed drive, tremendous balance. A drive won by the O-line.
2nd touchdown of the year for Harris. Harris with 38 yards in the first quarter, 30 on that drive. And there is an injured Argo on the play. Try and get a number down there. We think it's 23 Travis Hawkins. Argo's had some injuries in that. Or check that Vince Agnew, the safety.
Agnew and Travis Hawkins look like they may have collided back there on the play. And who is the injured player? Is it Hawkins?
Oh, it is Hawkins.
It is Hawkins. But I think he got tangled up here. There's Vincent Agnew, and over here is Travis Hawkins, and watch how they get tangled up. Agnew stepping up to try and get involved in the run, and they kind of collide, like knee to knee.
So Hawkins makes his way to the sideline already without Brandon Underwood, Jermaine Gabriel, and Matt Black in that Argo secondary. Impressive drive for the Lions, and they convert on 3 second downs to keep the touchdown march alive. Extra point from Leone, and the Lions lead 7-0 here in the opening quarter after a 9-play, 73-yard touchdown drive. football is brought to you by Wendy's Baconator and Bacon Poutine. Wendy's. Now that's better. Andrew Harris off to a good start tonight.
Nice balance in that drive, and one at the line of scrimmage. That offensive line for BC played very well in that drive.
47 yards for Harris so far on the night. Henry Josie on the return for the Argos. Up over the 30-yard line and still on his feet. Yards after contact and up to the 45, a 30-yard return. So the Argos get the football, see how they respond after the Andrew Harris 11-yard touchdown that puts BC on top. NFL on TSN is brought to you by Nissan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. Overcast day, a little rain here on the West Coast. Argos came in a couple of nights ago, as they did last year, a formula that helped break that long losing streak on the West Coast. Little pitch to Whitaker, and Brandon Whitaker runs for a first down.
Let's go back to the touchdown for the BC Lions and Andrew Harris. A lot happening on the play. There's misdirection. Shaq Murray-Lawrence going this way, Andrew Harris going this way, and then a pulling tackle in Javon Olafioye, and it really freezes the Toronto Argonauts. There goes Shaq Murray-Lawrence to the right, Andrew Harris off left. You see right there is Javon Olafioye. Really doesn't have to block anybody because that play and misdirection froze the Argo defense.
Matchup of running backs that are bouncing back off injury, and a fake to Coombs, and that pass short hops incomplete, intended for Torrey Gurley.
Right out there where Court Parks is hanging out, and maybe that's what caught the eye of Trevor Harris on the throw, because he well short of the target there. But when you throw one pick, that creeps in.
Well, he threw an interception on his last pass in Calgary that ended the game. Jawan Simpson with the interception told us yesterday didn't have one, he had two nightmares about that interception. 2nd and 10. And Harris has thrown another. This time it's TJ Lee. So back-to-back interceptions. In fact, now 3 consecutive series that Trevor Harris has thrown picks. And the Lions get the football right back. BC with the lead, and now TJ Lee has his 2nd interception in as many weeks to give the ball back to the Lions offense.
Defensive backs are right now responding to the challenge. Chad Owens is going to run on TJ Lee here. He's going to try and run the out, and watch the BC DB undercut this. Just like the Court Parks interception, he doesn't respect that Chad Owens is going deep at all. He reads his mail, undercuts it, and is right there to intercept the ball. And we've seen that. That was the same type of play Court Parks made earlier in this game, not respecting the deep route, undercuts the play. That's film work. They're running the routes for him right now.
So Harris had thrown 1 interception until the final series in Calgary. And now interceptions on the last 3 Argo offensive series.
A lot of talk yesterday about the matchup. Big receivers for the Argos against those BC DBs. They've responded so far.
Young BC DBs. Fake to Harris. Lule's got a lot of time, and he's got a receiver. Another catch for A.C. Leonard.
Well, Travis Hawkins is back in the game at halfback, and he's going to make the tackle on A.C. Leonard. But I've just been so impressed to start this game with the guys up front for BC. Tempo offense, good blocking, no one in the face of Travis Lule. You give him that kind of time, he's going to pick apart this Argo defense.
Lule, another quick hitter. Catch made by Austin Cauley. 23 for Leonard, and now Cauley down around the 25. Has 7.
Well, you said it off the top of the show that we could see some offense tonight because of the weapons out there. Guys like Chad Owens, Kevin Elliott, the Argos side of the ball, Austin Collie, Manny Arsenal, who we haven't talked about just yet. Lots of weapons. Andrew Harris.
BC Creon's got to find a way to slow down this Lions offense. Out of the backfield, Andrew Harris got a touchdown! One on the ground, one through the air for number 33. Here in the opening quarter, it's a 25-yard Andrew Harris touchdown.
One of the best defenders for the Argos so far this season has been Corey Greenwood out of the linebacking core. Great against the run. Gets matched up one-on-one on Andrew Harris in a man-to-man situation. That's a matchup the Lions will go back to if they get it again. Andrew Harris so versatile. They get him out of the backfield and get the matchup they want.
One through the air 2 weeks ago against Saskatchewan. Last week, they did it on the ground. They're showing you their run and pass ability here in the opening quarter against Toronto. Leone the extra point, and now 14 points for the Lions off Argo turnovers in quarter number one.
Well, they're going to release Andrew Harris on this touchdown throw. Starts out behind Lule, and as he releases out here and then is going to run down, you're going to see Corey Greenwood get caught because he has to go underneath Manny Arsenal. So he's in the man-to-man matchup. He steps up. He's taking him out of the backfield. See, he has to loop under Manny Arsenal when he has to take that extra half a step. That gives Andrew Harris the edge. Now he's got separation and the ball thrown perfectly.
First receiving touchdown of the year for Harris. And Lule now with 7 touchdown passes on the season. Argo's in a hole on the road here as Henry Josie fields it at his 8. And Josie out across the 30-yard line. Pascal Lochard with the special teams tackle for BC.
It's the first for Trevor Harris facing adversity coming off a loss. They had the bye week. You mentioned the couple of nightmares that he admitted to yesterday, saying, you know, he made some mistakes in the last game and now he's trying to bounce back, not only from the adversity in the bye week after the loss, but now a couple of throws that went to the wrong color jersey. He's got to mentally block those out now and get back and get this offense rolling again.
That initial drive started well. 4 first downs before the interception, but now they've got to make something happen.
What a close.
Adam Bighill closed quickly on Brandon Whitaker.
.7 tackles per game leads the CFL. Unbalanced schedule, so different totals, but watch how quickly 44 closes here. Takes on Brandon Whitaker, realizes that it's going to be the screen to him, and he closes that 2-yard distance in about a split second.
Loss of 6, 2nd and 16. Whitaker releases and gets the pass from Harris on the check down. Back close to the original line of scrimmage, and there's Bighill again, and it's a 2 and out.
Scott Milenovich trying to get Trevor Harris. They're not going to work this time, but he's trying to get him with those quick short throws. The screen on first down snuffed out by Adam Bighill, but the quick throws to try and get Harris in some kind of rhythm didn't work that time.
For Kitchener native Ronnie Peffer to kick it. Alex Tillman awaits. Flags fly.
Procedure. Toronto, number 40. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Airbag Tonye moved prematurely. Lions only 22 first half points coming into this game, and here they are with a pair of touchdowns in the first quarter. They're going to get the ball back with over a minute to go in quarter number one. after the boot, and Tillman steps up at his 45. So a 39-yard punt. And Tillman's back into Argo territory inside the Toronto 50, a 14-yard return. Corey Greenwood came up with the ball at the bottom of the pile, but it is BC football. We talked to Andrew Harris about how he and Lulay are back on track, and it's starting to feel a little like 2011 all over again.
There's been a couple moments this year already that, we just, look at each other, just give a high five or a pound or whatever, and it's, it feels like 2011 again. And Travis has been, we played together since he came in the league and on the practice roster and, doing scout team and, so, we've kind of came up together and, obviously going through the injuries and stuff. So, I'm so proud of him and just the way he controls the offense and, just how he attacks the game. He's, the best professional I've ever been around.
And he is on target tonight. First connection with Manny Arsenault. 12 yards and another BC first down.
Yeah, they're both back. You take a look at Travis Lulay. He's making every throw. Threw a lot more deep balls in practice than he has all year this week. Jeff Tedford saying he is recovered from that shoulder, as has Andrew Harris with his ankle injury.
And off to Harris, straight ahead. Hawkins holding on, but Harris moves the pile for 5 more, and he's up to 77 first quarter yards from scrimmage.
Really makes it tough on a defense when you've got that interior run game to Andrew Harris working, the threat of Travis Lulay working the edges, and what he did last week against Saskatchewan. It's tough to defend.
Casey Crean's Argo defense blast against the pass. 2nd and 5, and Harris out of the backfield again for a first down. A.J. Jefferson bumps him out. But Andrew Harris putting on a show here in the opening quarter. 7 and another BC first down.
Well, once again, you got double tights in there. Andrew Harris coming out of the backfield to the left side of the formation, and Lulay timing excellent to give Harris a chance to turn around, make a move, get the first down, and get out of bounds.
So final play, first quarter, Harris up to 84 yards and a pair of touchdowns, but not much there this time on the final play of the opening quarter. But a big one for the Lions. The defense comes up with a pair of interceptions, and the offense scores twice off those turnovers. And after 15 minutes of football on the West Coast, it's the Lions up 14-0. The 14 points off turnovers, and the Lions with a decided statistical edge in the opening 15 minutes.
Andrew Harris looked great again in that first quarter, as did Travis Lulay, but it was the guys up front that's really dictating the play right now for the BC Lions. That offensive line has kept Lulay completely clean in that first quarter. In fact, I didn't see one guy anywhere near him in the passing plays, and they're opening up holes for Andrew Harris.
Without allowing a sack in the last 2 games against Saskatchewan, it's definitely an area of improvement, but we're seeing a lot of improvement for BC, and Trevor Harris now is going to have to find a way to bounce back.
Well, and this is a good D-line in Toronto as well, so they are right now dictating the play, and Trevor Harris has to get back into that rhythm that Scott Milenovich always talks about, and see if he can just get a few first downs, get some confidence back when they have the football. Got to get it, though. The Lions in that first quarter had it for almost twice as long as Toronto did.
There was an unnecessary roughness penalty at the end of that opening quarter, so the Lions start with a first down, and there's Harris out of the backfield again. Keep running it until you can stop it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, if it's working and the defense hasn't reacted or adjusted, then keep feeding 33 the rock. I mean, Lulay is on time with it, giving him a chance in the open field. And right now it's Corey Greenwood trying to get through the mix to get to him.
Travis Lulay, 10 of his first 11 passes. 2nd and 5. Back to Harris, breaks a tackle, spins, touchdown. Putting on a show. Number 33 has 3 already tonight.
Zone read. Last week, Travis Lulay put it in there and then pulled it. Got the corner, got the edge. Tonight, he's been just feeding it to Andrew Harris, and why not? He's in that zone.
7-yard touchdown run. Brandon Isaac had a shot at him at the line of scrimmage. And Harris up to 96 yards now with 3 touchdowns. Not even 16 minutes into the game. Leone the extra point. And the Argos in a deep hole here early in Vancouver.
I love this zone read, riding the side play where Harris here, Lulay takes a look and then either keeps with the option to throw or run or give it to Andrew Harris. And it looked like the Argo defense reacts to Harris, and yet he sees enough of a hole in the way that Andrew Harris is running right now. He says, hey, I'm just going to give it to him. Our guys up front are blowing up some holes, and Harris with a nice spin move to get that extra yard.
In 3 games was 6th in the league in yards from scrimmage. He might have the league lead by the end of the night.
Well, this is an important drive. I know it's early in the game, but Trevor Harris got to get some first downs, let that Argo defense regroup, give them some time on the sideline. They're working on it right now at the bench, trying to figure out how to stop Andrew Harris. Scott Milenovich needs some first downs from Trevor Harris.
Lions 2 for 2 in the red zone as well. Bradfield on the return, not going very far as he gets just out across the 25.
A lot of different ways. Nice play calling to get Andrew Harris the football in a lot of different types of situations. Just straight sweep, get him outside and get his speed around the edge. Throw him the football on a wheel route out of the backfield. Got a nice matchup on Corey Greenwood. And then that zone read play.
So now that there are 3 games of Trevor Harris this year out there on film, are the Lions figuring this out? Is that what you're assessing from this first half? Whitaker going nowhere, stopped up by David Menard.
It's interesting, Chris, because I'm watching a secondary in BC here that is taking some not really risks. If they have seen these plays on film and they're undercutting receivers like they did on those first 2 interceptions. They've got some film. Mark Washington's got him coached up and ready for this one. Now Trevor Harris has to go to some double moves. If they're starting to undercut it, you got time to make a double move. You could get a guy deep.
Despite 2 wins, there was a lot of focus on the Lion defense. 9th in the league in yards allowed. 2nd and a bunch. Harris ducked under the rush, and Chad Owens has his first catch. Short of the first down, but a late flag might keep the Argo offense on the field.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. BC number 53. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Alex Bazzi called.
Inside twist is how the Lions get the initial pressure. 2 interior defensive tackles with a little twist in the middle. Forced Trevor Harris to run up the middle, and Alex Bazzi from behind after he had thrown the ball pulled him down high with a high head tackle. And there's 8:53 up around his head.
Much needed first down for the Argos. Whitaker comes back this way and up across the 50 to the 52-yard line, close to 7 for Brandon Whitaker.
Athletically, Adam Bighill, just amazing play here to jump into the hole. He's going to jump into the hole here and then react back out in a split second to get to Whitaker. I thought he had committed inside and was in trouble here losing containment. He jumps into the hole, spins out of it, and is right there to make the tackle.
On pace for 138 tackles on the year. Harris going through the reads, takes off, lunging for midfield, where he had to get for another Argo first down.
Yeah, you could tell he knows the importance of some first downs here to let the defense regroup, get himself some confidence. Now they're trying to run their own tempo up on the line of scrimmage.
3rd and inches, so they just come short. And now he'll plunge for what should be the first down. Changes on that Argo offensive line. Veteran Jeff Keeping back after missing the first 3. He's at center. Greg Van Roten, who replaced him, moves to right guard. And Jarrell King now at left tackle for Bruce Campbell, who's nicked and not in the lineup for the Argos here tonight.
Other than Bruce Campbell, though, the O-line for Toronto about what they wanted to start the season with. But Campbell's a big one. That's a left tackle.
67 Keeping in his 11th year, 10th with Toronto. Argo first down into Lion territory. Whitaker stayed in the block, a deep throw. Kevin Elliott behind coverage, and it's an Argonaut touchdown. 54 yards, Harris to Elliott, and the Argos get one back.
Starts with play action, and Brandon Whitaker is going to take that play fake from Harris. He knew the importance of this drive, and he delivers. Trevor Harris with a nice throw and a bust in the back end. A bust in the coverage for the BC secondary. No way that Elliott should be that wide open.
So Kevin Elliott has his 3rd touchdown of the season. Style of receiver Scott Milanovic has compared with Jamel Richardson. Big, strong target.
Where the Argos needed that.
Heifer the extra point. And the Argos on the board are now down 21-7. Trevor Harris with a league-leading 10th touchdown pass of the year. 54 yards to Kevin Elliott.
2 deep routes coming from the Argo receivers, one of them being Kevin Elliott, but watch where the eyes of Cord Parks are. Now in a zone you do want to read the quarterback, but his eyes are back there, and meanwhile he's got 2 receivers basically running by him. While you're watching and reading the quarterback in a zone defense, you've got to maintain your depth. Don't let anybody in behind you when you got the deep outside 3rd, and Elliott tracks it down.
So what you're saying is you can't undercut everything.
Yeah, don't undercut everything.
Shaq Anthony, Kevin Murray Lawrence on the return. Yes, Dad was a basketball fan. And there's Kevin Elliott, who's getting a lot of fans in Toronto with his impressive start to his CFL career. 6 plays, 82 yards for the touchdown.
Florida A&M, and what was impressive to me, and I always love to see this, at Florida A&M, he was a team leader in special teams tackles. And you've heard Scott Milanovic a couple of times now, Chris, talk about how tough he is. He likes the aggression. He goes after DBs. You need the team in special teams tackles. You like the contact.
Looks like the Lions were offside as Lule throws underneath. And it's Arsenault dancing, lunging, close to what would be a first down. But again, somebody looked like they got an early jump on that Lions offense.
Jeff Tedford emphasized the procedure offside penalties last week
Offside.
in practice.
BC, number 88. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
AC Leonard.
And last week at Mosaic, the O-line and D-line did not take an offside or procedure penalty, so the focus in practice worked. That was a receiver in AC Leonard and not a procedure call on the O-line. It's amazing when you actually emphasize something in practice and you see it transfer over game time.
So 1st and 15 back at the 24. Little hitch. There's Murray Lawrence, and taken down immediately. Travis Hawkins with the tackle.
Amazing when your quarterback gives you hope. The Toronto Argonauts defensively were on their heels. Touchdown after touchdown, trouble stopping Andrew Harris. And Trevor Harris steps up with a big, important drive. And all of a sudden, they're playing with a little more jump in their step.
No gain on the last play, so 2nd and 15. Four-man Argo front. Lule for the first time under duress, and they get to the quarterback, so that Argo front gets home. And it's going to be the first CFL sack for Darryl Wadd.
Tough read here for Travis Lule by alignment. The Argos defensive secondary. Look how they all play right across the board here. 7 guys on almost the same depth, and Lule's trying to figure out who are the deep guys. Where's the holes going to be? By the time the receivers get there, they sit on the routes without making any contact. Tough read for Lule, and he couldn't find the target.
And if Watt gets credit for the sack,
Procedure.
first.
BC, number 41. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
21-year-old Western product, number 12 pick in the draft. Dad an Argo draft choice back in 1983.
Let's go. You broke your air, bro. Let's go. Let's keep rolling.
So they're still in a big hole, but you can feel a little momentum turn.
No question, and should get good field position here.
Owens awaits around the Toronto 50. Leone lets it fly. At the 42-yard line, that's a 54-yard punt. But something cooking on the return for Chad Owens. And a flag down around the 40-yard line will negate some of it. But the Argos should have good field position. Would have been a 35-yard return. Travis Lule building a 21-0 lead. But now the Argo defense steps up. CFL on TSN returns tomorrow night. Blue Bombers and Eskimos from Commonwealth. Action kicks off 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN. And anybody can beat anybody this year.
And most of the games close. Margin of victory averaging just over a possession, 8.7 points per game to start the season.
East has won 6. West has won 5 in the East-West matchups. The flag was on Brandon Isaac at the end of the Chad Owens return. No gain there. It'll be maybe even a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. There's a Toronto area product from Brampton, Jabbar Westerman, who will be revved up to play the Argos here tonight.
First round pick back in 2012.
So 2nd and 11 as Trevor Harris tries to keep this momentum in the Argos sails. A pump, and he wants to take another deep shot. And this time, incomplete, intended for Elliott.
Josh Johnson drops back and is in the deep half field. And he flies over there to make this a tough one for Elliott. Is just going to run down the sideline, but Josh Johnson's going to come from inside out. You don't see him right now. He's on the right of your screen. And he gets over there and up over the top. He has good depth, so this ball's got to be thrown on the outside shoulder. You see 23 show up. If it's thrown inside, he's got a better angle at it.
So Pepper will look for the pin here. Tillman standing inside the BC 5. He'll take it at the 9. And they'll stop him before he reaches the 10. A flag down after the 40-yard Ronnie Pepper boot. What a night already for Andrew Harris. 33, 3 major scores, staking the Lions to a 21-7 advantage here in the first half at BC Place. Brings you the twists and turns of real-life crime thrillers with a free preview throughout July and August. Check your guide to watch. And a re-punt here for the Argos as Brian Rule, new rule, was downfield too quickly.
Look how hard they're breathing. That's the risk here for Toronto. They have to go and re-kick and cover the punt again for 40 yards.
Big guy out of Ohio State. So Pepper reloads. This one not as deep. And look at Greg Jones, the starting middle linebacker, down in a hurry. Great punt cover by 53, who's starting to get a lot of attention around the league for his solid play on defense and the teams.
Great run stopper from tackle to tackle. 19 that leads the Toronto Argonauts defensively. And also playing on those cover teams, and watch him just take that step up and just cut down the ball carrier in a hurry.
That's one for his new son, Maximus. So the Lions again start inside their 20. Hand off to Harris, right side. Good run.
Well, what we do in life echoes in eternity. That was Maximus.
Very good.
Yes, there you go.
Well, there are 3 different Argo players celebrating over the break. Well planned by the Argos. Lucas Juracek, Maximus Jones, and Braxton Whitaker all arrived since the last Argo game. So congratulations to the dads and the families.
Greg Jones stepped up there and got his nose dirty on that run. Steps right in, slaps Jason Foster out of the way, and it's right there to shut it down.
Out of Michigan State, 17 tackles in the last 2 games. But a first down for Harris and the Lions. Lule underneath. This time Harris drops it with Corey Greenwood tracking him.
See again, Gregory Jones here just get nice and low on the snap of this football. He's going to have over and under. He's got that low pad level just in case it's run up the middle. He can step up and take it. Then he drops and stays patient. Doesn't get jumping on that short crosser. Stays deeper on the deeper crosser. And Lule has to try and get it to Andrew Harris.
No 2nd and 10 for BC. And pass to Colley complete underneath. It will be short of the first down. Colley's second catch is another 7-yard pickup, but the punt team has to come on as the Argo defense starts to tighten up.
Things change when all of a sudden you have hope. Down 21-0, reeling. Trevor Harris with a touchdown throw gives the defense some hope. They go out and battle, get a couple of stops offensively for the Lions, and Trevor Harris will get another crack at it here with lots of time in the half.
Leone, and that one will bounce out around the 25. Chad Owens thought he read something. He ran one way and the punt went the other, man. Not sure if Owens saw that they were a man short, but there was something off.
Well, I think there might have been a receiver uncovered, and Chad Owens was running away from where he was going to recover the ball to see if he needed to cover him.
Turns out to be a 49-yard punt.
I'll show you quickly here where Trevor Harris breaks the huddle. There's an uncovered receiver, and Chad Owens notices it, and he's trying to run to that position.
Good heads-up play by Owens, trying to bounce back from a tough night at McMahon. Here's Harris. Dumps it off, and Kevin Elliott can't reach back to pull that in.
Anthony Coombs, it was to the flat on the opposite side of that throw and had about 60 yards to run it. I mean, number one, I know Trevor Harris is trying to move around in the pocket, but Coombs ends up over here, and he is wide open with nothing but room in front of him.
A little confusion as the play clock clicks down. They get it off, and it's incomplete, intended for Gurley. Gurley can't hang on, and a 2-and-out back-to-back now for the Argos after their touchdown pass to Kevin Elliott.
And Ronnie Yell just bothered Gurley enough that he just couldn't come up with that catch. He didn't do enough to draw a penalty flag. And Gurley's up there looking at the replay monitor to see if he should maybe have challenged that.
Did look like some confusion on that last play, and Scott Milanovich told us yesterday there's still some of that with the new receivers. High punt brought down by Tillman after 40 yards. Shakes off the first tackle and dropped back at the 41 with a flag down.
During the return, illegal block, BC, number 37. 10-yard penalty, first down.
The newcomer to the Lion lineup, former Burnaby Central star, Eric Fraser, former Stampeder and Ottawa Red Black called. 3-minute warning being given to the benches here. Lion football when we come back.
Everything's going right for Travis Lulay and very little going right for Travis Harris. We'll have the GMC coach's playbook along with halftime or full highlights from the thrilling early game in the nation's capital and an update on John Cornish. But first, let's get back to Chris and Glenn in Vancouver.
From the sidelines to the bright lights of the studio for Farhan Lalji.
Yeah.
Well done. 2:42 remaining first half here. Lions scored touchdowns on 3 consecutive possessions. 21-7 they lead. Travis Lulay on a roll. Pressure from Brandon Isaac, and the ball is incomplete. Courtney Taylor couldn't hang on.
Be a late hit, I think, on Travis Lulay.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Toronto, number 28, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So Brandon Isaac takes the penalty.
We've been in a second and long situation for BC, and a poor decision by Isaac to not pull up. He was chasing from the backside. He ends up getting in the chase here. And instead of pulling up after the throw, he took a shot.
Gives BC a first down at the 50. Quick hitter. Taylor's got the catch. Wrestled down immediately by Travis Hawkins after a gain of 5.
Deep in his own end, Travis Lulay, and inside his 30, and got to pull off of that hit. That's just a poor decision by Brandon Isaac.
5 for Taylor, second and 5. As the Lions reset.
Double cut, double cut.
4-man rush over the middle, incomplete. Wanted Taylor again, but heavy traffic in the area. Corey Greenwood was among 3 or 4 Argo defenders.
Yeah, Greenwood, I think Gregory Jones was in there as well, and another defender from the back end from the defensive secondary. It was a real tight window, and I think that was the first hit, that late hit from Brandon Isaac, that Travis Lulay's taken all game.
And didn't take any last week. So the 3rd consecutive punt for BC. As Leone has it bounce inside the 20 and bounce back. So the Argos will have about 80 yards of real estate, maybe 85, with just under 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
Well, it's Trevor Harris's team right now, but lots of talk this week about when Ricky Ray may be able to return to the lineup. And Ray was throwing in warm-up a little bit before the game, and some saying that it could be around Labor Day. Although reading between the lines yesterday, I got the sense that it may be a little longer than that, but it would be natural for him after throwing as much as he did in warm-up to put a little ice on it. Sure he maintains it, but he was throwing some nice 30, 35-yard throws in warm-up.
The word is not imminent. His return. Nice run by Brandon Whitaker. Picks his way to the 30.
Great conversation with Trevor Harris about that yesterday, and I said, you know, you must be hearing all the talk about the return of Ray and what happens then, and could one of the quarterbacks be traded possibly? That discussion has happened throughout the last couple of weeks, and he had an excellent answer for me.
Stays in with short yardage and gets the first down.
And, you know, he said, first of all, I signed up and I signed my contract to be the backup quarterback to Ricky Ray. So if that happens to present itself again when he returns, and then that's the role I will take, and I'll try to be the best backup to Ricky Ray I can be. In the meantime, I've got to lead this team to some more wins, and it's an opportunity for me to do that. So he's got the right mindset. He knows the pecking order in Toronto.
Just his 5th career start, but been in the system for 4 years. 1st and 10, gives it away. Hazelton brings it down in front of Adam Bighill, who seems to be everywhere on the field. 4-yard gain
Big Hill looks like to me that he's dropped some weight and still playing with that same power and aggression that he plays with from the linebacker spot, but it just looks like his feet are quicker.
Drop some weight maybe, and certainly dropping off in coverage more, it would seem.
Sometimes deep in the middle.
5 tackles first half for Big Hill. 2nd and 6. Here comes pressure off the edge. It's a catch for Elliott, and TJ Lee with the tackle to prevent a first down.
Nice matchup here. Adam Big Hill coming on a stunt and a late delayed blitz, and he gets there except for the fact that Brandon Whitaker, who loves this responsibility, talked to Whitaker yesterday about playing against Adam Big Hill and Solomon Elamimian. He said, you know, when I get a chance to pass protect, I get a chance to be the hammer, not the nail, because those guys hit me when I have the football.
So Pepper to punt as they run some time off the clock here in the final minute. Tillman standing back at the BC 25. Good boot. That has Tillman backpedaling.
Wow.
An extra 12 yards. 57-yard boot. Good cover by the Argos. However, there is a flag on the play. And again, it looks like somebody got downfield too quickly for Toronto.
Flag on the line of scrimmage.
Illegally downfield on a kick. Toronto, number 36.
Same
10-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Second time for Brian Roll.
That was a huge kick, too, by Peffer, and now they're going to have to back up and do it again. Back-to-back penalties. He can't leave. The 5 interior linemen cannot leave until the ball is kicked. New rule this year.
That could be a costly penalty. Now Tillman awaits around the Lion 40. A decent return. And maybe time for Leone with that big leg of his. He's hit from 56 yards out. And not a good kick. See if it gets an Argo bounce. Tillman fields. He's across the 50 and tripped up there. A clutch tackle by Brendan Galanders, his 2nd special teams tackle of the night.
But almost 30 yards difference. It was a 36-yard punt, not a 57-yarder. Nice tackle in the open field to limit the gain and the return, but very different field position for Travis Lulay. A couple plays and he could get that field goal shot.
Good play by the former Ottawa GG. But Lulay's got 25 seconds to enhance the BC lead. Has some time. Not thinking about field goal range, and this one is intercepted. Devin Smith playing center field brings it down, and Smith has his 2nd interception in as many weeks.
Yeah, this is a communication issue between Austin Cauley, the intended target, and Travis Lulay. Lulay thought he was going to run the straight seam, and Cauley bends it into the middle. He thinks that he's going to run the seam, and at the end of this, Cauley starts to bend it in here, and the ball just gets up over the top where Devin Smith can run it down, and he's got that deep outside 3rd. You can see that bend into the middle by Cauley, and the ball placed way outside the outside shoulder. Communication issue, but a one-hander by the DB.
Might have saved some points. And the Argos will run the clock out here.
Well, it bails out Brian Roll. That penalty for leaving too early on the punt could have cost them a field goal. It doesn't because of the pick, and they're trying to work on their communication down on that BC bench.
Just the 2nd interception tossed by Lulay on the season. Lions scored the first 3 touchdowns. Argos answer with one, 21-7 at the half in Vancouver. Let's head to Toronto. Here's Farhan Lalji in the panel.
Thanks, Chris, and welcome to Live at the Half here inside the TSN studio. Farhan Lalji along with Jock, Milt, and Schultze. And coming into this game, the BC Lions had a very poor defensive performance in really their last 2 games, but they wound up winning both of those games. The defense has certainly shown signs of improvement. Andrew Harris, though, had it going in the last 2 games, and Jock, he's continuing that here in the first half.
Yeah, you know, especially in the first quarter, the BC Lions offense had the Argos off balance. And that's what you love as an offense. You feel like you are in complete control when you can just yin and yang the defense. And that's what was going on. But it starts with the running game, and for the BC Lions, it's Andrew Harris. And, you know, it's a lot of this about blocking scheme, too. And I just love what they're doing here. They got old linemen working up to the second level. You see the linebackers coming down, crashing hard. And you see Lumbella kicking out. And this is a split zone. And watch Harris. Look at the room he's got right here. He's got all kinds of room. This is all scheme. This is not Harris. This is scheme and great blocking by the old lineman. What does that do? That makes the Argos very, very aware of the run game. Watch the linebackers knife upfield to the first hint of run, and then look at all the room that Leonard has here. A.C. Leonard can run the hard post with no fear of getting mixed up in the wad, and then you got the pass completed. That's what they had them in the first quarter. Toronto's starting to get their feet under them in the second quarter. Should be an interesting second half.
Great job in terms of the running game, but it's also been a really good game for Travis Lulay against the Saskatchewan Roughriders last week. He ran for 105 yards, showed his courage and his confidence in that shoulder that was so desperately challenged and also injured coming into this game. Now with the passing game, it's a completely different scenario. Watch, he hits every different type of pass early. First, the interior pass with the velocity, bang, right up the middle, shows the strength, shows the durability. But this is the throw of the game so far. This is a great touch pass to Andrew Harris, puts it exactly where it's supposed to be, and then works the sidelines, this time to Arsenault. Great footwork by Arsenault, gets the foot in, all three different types of passes. Travis Lulay, no doubt about it, that shoulder was damaged. It's 100% back now.
Well, Trevor Harris, I think, is going to be a great quarterback in this league for years to come. But the one thing you can't do, and I think it's rule number one as a quarterback, is you can't come out of the huddle and predetermine where you're going to go with the ball. And Jock understands this. Anybody who's ever been in a professional huddle or any coach understands this, that when the quarterback comes out, he has to take what the defense gives him. Right here, you see he was predetermined that he was going to go to this receiver. Now, receiver could have helped him out. He could have came back to the ball a little bit, but there was no openings right there. You see this second one to Chad Owens. This play may have worked in practice, but it's not open in the game. You can't come out of the huddle and say, I'm throwing the ball to Chad Owens. I need him to get the ball. You have to throw it where the defense gives you those openings. It was nice to see he came back out and he threw a touchdown pass, but he has to take what the defense gives him. If he does that, they have a chance of coming back and winning this game.
Yeah, and that last interception will keep the Argos in it going into the second half, where they have been so good this season. Still plenty more coming up on Live at the Half. We will have highlights from a thrilling overtime game in the nation's capital, plus an update on a former MOP who looks like he might be out for a while. That and more coming up on Friday Night Football. Baconator and Baconator Poutine. Wendy's, now that's better. And coming up tomorrow on the CFL on TSN, Sunday at 7 Eastern, we've got the Blue Bombers and the Eskimos. Winnipeg at 2-2, trying to bounce back. The Eskimos, meanwhile, are 2-1, coming off a pair of victories. And in the early game today in Ottawa, it was the Stampeders and Red Blacks. Ottawa has yet to score a point in the opening quarter this season. That's 4 games, and late in the first quarter, 11-0 Stamps. Henry Burris hooks up with Ernest Jackson. This was a perfect teardrop pass. Jackson manages to haul it in 24 yards, 11-8 Stamps after 1. Second quarter, Stamps still up 3. First and goal, John Cornish goes up the middle for the score. That's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. But later on, Cornish was having his hand looked at by the trainers. He'd have x-rays at halftime and would not return because of a broken finger. More on that a little bit later. To the 4th now, Red Blacks still down 3. Both of Ottawa's victories this season have been come from behind wins. Burris hooks up with Chris Williams. He does the rest. 84 yards for the touchdown, and it's 26-23 Red Blacks. The Stamps would tie the game on a late field goal. In the first overtime, Bo Levi Mitchell is sacked and he fumbles. Keith Sholigan recovers for Ottawa, and that sets up this. Delbert Alvarado, who had missed a PAT and a short field goal earlier, nails it from 34 yards for the win. It is good, and the Red Blacks win 29-26, the final, and that takes us to our GMC coaches billboard. And not much to draw when you lose a former MOP. John Cornish out for the Stampeders. What's that going to do for their offense?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Obviously, you don't know how long this is going to be. It could be a couple weeks. And this is a team that's built on running the football with John Cornish and his ability to get the ball downfield. This is a team that always gets first downs. You watch them, they get first down after first down. What does that do? It wears all the defenses. It wears them down. He could always turn in a 6-yard run into a 60-yard run, but I always like the fact that John Cornish gets north-south, makes big plays happen. That opens up your play-action pass and all the other things you want to do. And again, losing him for a duration, you're going to have to adapt to some of the things you do. And other guys are going to now have to step up. If you have Matt Walter in there, some of the receivers, and Bo Levi will be asked to do more things if they can't get the run game going. Now, understand this. Last year, they lost John Cornish for 9 games, almost half a season last year. What was their record out of that? Farhan, they were 7-2 when that happened, so they were able to win games without him. Matt Walter did a great job. Difference is, Brent Jones went to the NFL. They've lost Brander Craighead. They've lost a couple other, both their offensive tackles, so they've got a lot of injuries. They're going to have to adapt, improvise, and overcome.
And it's going to put a little more pressure on Bo Levi Mitchell to be that much more efficient, going back to what he did that way a year ago.
Absolutely, and certainly they got veteran coaches, veteran players. The defensive unit's a good unit, so they'll come back from this and just get better. Next guy up's got to make plays.
Yeah, no formal time frame. John Hufnagel said he'll be out for a while. Cornish wasn't happy after the game, and that is your GMC coach's playbook. Coming up, we've got the second half. Here's Andrew Harris, his 3rd straight 100-yard performance from scrimmage. How much more can he add? We'll find out coming up in the second half. Hortons is making sure you catch all of the big moments of the season, the unbelievable catches and hard-hitting tackles. Watch them live as they happen or view them again and share it with friends. Go to tsn.ca/CFL must-see. Jock, what do you have for first half statistics?
Well, it's been the Andrew Harris show so far, and you just love watching this guy play the game, and he's a big part of their passing attack. He's got 61 yards rushing. They lost a couple yards on another carry. And look at the 3 touchdowns. That makes 40 touchdowns on his career, 20 passing in the air and 20 rushing. Balanced football player, and a big reason why the Lions are up.
This is Andrew Harris's 19th start in the month of July since he took over as the starter in 2011. He's had over 2,100 yards from scrimmage during that time. It is by far his best month of the season. He'll look to add to it. We'll head back to the stadium after this.
It's Friday night football, yeah! Boys are all here, gonna put on a show. Come on!
14-point lead as we get set for the second half. BC 21, Toronto 7. Chad Owens, another quiet first half.
Yeah, it really was. Just one catch for 8 yards, but it was the only time Trevor Harris targeted Chad Owens. He was just targeted the one time. He caught that ball and 8-yard gain, but got to get Chad Owens going in this second half, and I think Scott Milanovic is telling that. Don't worry, we're going to get you the football.
99 yards against Edmonton in the first game. Followed that up with 88 against Saskatchewan. But quiet against Calgary, and so far here tonight. But Trevor Harris going to get his hands on the ball first in the second half. Devin Bradfield has dropped deep along with Henry Josie as Leone gets set to kick it off in this second half. Both teams at 2-1. And Josie had to play that on the bounce. And he won't reach the 30-yard line. Hauled down. Alex Bazzi gets down in a hurry, along with Stephen Clark.
Well, one of the frustrating things for Chad Owens has got to be that he's coming off a subpar game, and even the great players have an off day. And against the Calgary Stampeders before the bye week, it was a tough one for Chad Owens. Caught the ball up a couple of times, turned into turnovers, and then a bad decision before the half in Calgary. So it wasn't his best game, certainly. He wants to bounce back. The only way to do that is get the ball in your hands again.
Scott Milanovich has talked about getting him in rhythm early. Trevor Harris was in trouble, got away, and will find an open man. A catch by Gurley up over the 35-yard line, and ends up with 6 when it looked like he might be dropped for a loss.
Well, right out of the gate, it looked like they had a play designed to get it to Chad Owens, because he runs this little hitch screen, steps up the field on change motion. He's got some room there, doesn't get the ball, and now Harris has got to scramble. But that play looked like he was the primary target.
So 2nd and 4, going to take a shot here for Whitaker. Good catch over his shoulder, had a step on Adam Bighill, and the Argos in business at the Lion 45-yard line.
Now we're watching two great running backs here in this game. Andrew Harris had a monster first half. Now Whitaker is starting to pick it up, and he's making some plays. What they both have in common is their versatility. Just triple threats, can run the ball, catch it out of the backfield. That's a receiver-type catch for Brandon Whitaker over his shoulder for a 32-yard gain, and they both like to block.
Second big play against the Lions defense that's given up 14 on the year now. Harris to the wide side, and it does get to Gurley, and he lost yards trying to create something after the catch, brought down by Josh Johnson.
And Gurley's got to try and let Trevor Harris call the next play without getting in his ear. He's got enough on his mind, but you could see a little frustration with an underthrown pass out there to Gurley. If he catches that, he can turn up the field and probably pick up the first down.
Marcus Brady on the sidelines. What's he got? 2nd and 6. Short drop over the middle. Receiver was bumped, and Hazelton looks for a flag and gets it. In coverage was the corner, Ronnie Yell.
This is going to be one of those incidental pass interferences. I'm not sure if the feet got crossed or if Yell actually did try and impede him to the football.
Pass interference, BC, number 25. Spot the foul, automatic, first down.
Hazelton's running a dig route or an in route, which where you go down the field and then break in like that. And on that cut, Ronnie Yell tries to cut him off, impedes his path to the football, puts a shoulder into him. No question, PI there.
15-yard penalty and an audible from Harris at the line. 4 receivers to this near side. And now the handoff to Whitaker, and he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Terrific defensive play by Jabbar Westerman.
7 starts last year for Westerman, but they were moving him all over the defensive line, played a little bit on the interior. And the question this year was, is he quick enough to play off the edge? Quick enough to play off the edge, or big enough to play inside?
Showed some quickness there, didn't he? 2nd and 11. Harris a pump, and some confusion. Pass sails incomplete. Gurley pulled up, and Harris thought he was going deep.
Wondering if that was supposed to be one of those double moves. Remember, in the first half, the Lions secondary were undercutting a lot of these routes. And if you take a look at this route outside from Torrey Gurley, Trevor Harris looked like he thought he was going to just stomp his feet and then continue down the field on basically a double move. He doesn't. Hooks it up, ball falls incomplete.
So Pefferon, 33-yard attempt in the new convert territory, and just in. So the lead now 11, the Lions with the first 21 points, and now the Argos have the last 10.
Travis Lulay 18-1 here at BC Place Stadium. Completed 13 of 17 in the first half, had excellent protection, especially in that first quarter. 138 yards. A late interception was the only blemish. That touchdown to Andrew Harris, perfect throw.
He's won his last 12 starts. The only team to beat him here in the regular season, the Edmonton Eskimos, back on July 20th, 2012. The winning quarterback that game was Stephen Giles. Here's Harris behind blocking. And the Argos do a good job of rallying to the running back and hold it to 1. Safety Vince Agnew steps up.
Well, it starts with Greg Jones, the new dad, scraping to the hole and forcing Andrew Harris to take it wide. And he stands, look at that low center of gravity, and watch how he scrapes left here and forces the wide run by Andrew Harris.
4 tackles for the middle linebacker in the opening half. 2nd and 9. Good protection. Lule taking a shot. And incomplete. A.J. Jefferson in coverage against Manny Arsenault got his finger on the football.
Travis Lule's taken some shots deep. Like Jefferson had a better shot at it than Arsenault. Remember, he this season has a 100-yard interception return for a touchdown. Did that against Saskatchewan.
So Casey Crehan's defense has stiffened. Now 4 punts and an interception since the 3 consecutive touchdowns that the Lions scored. Here comes Owens. Tried to cut back and on the slippery turf lost his footage around the 30. So the Argos trail by 11 as they go back to work. Their touchdown came on that long pass from Harris to Kevin Elliott. Later, tackling hunger. I promise we can all help deliver. Just one tonight.
Yeah, 1 tonight by Toronto, and they try and climb up the toe board. Sacks down a little bit this year. Completion percentage is up for quarterbacks.
And the first sack surrendered by the Lions in 3 weeks. So the Argos with a field goal in their first possession, trying to continue to chip away at this BC lead. First pass incomplete.
That ball get hit, or did Trevor Harris's arm get hit, or did you just see a DB jump? It looked like Ronnie Yell jumped this route. Saw it in the first quarter, the Lion DBs undercutting these receivers. I think he just saw Ronnie Yell jump in the route and just decided, you know what, I'm just going to throw that one away.
Only 6 second half points at McMahon in their last game. 2nd and 10. Here comes the heat. Harris gets it into the flat. Owens slips and he's tagged down there by Elimimian. Second catch for Owens, who now has catches in 70 consecutive games.
But just 2, and that was well short. 2 for 11 for Chad Owens. Lions defensively were having trouble with the run coming into this game. They've fixed that so far tonight. Just 30 yards allowed against the run for BC and their linebacking core. Adam Bighill getting there.
Heffer with the boot. No flag this time. And Tillman bumped out at the Lion bench after a 38-yard punt. Travis Lule back to work with an 11-point lead here at BC Place. The Special Olympics World Games begins tomorrow with opening ceremony live from Los Angeles. Catch the largest sports and humanitarian event of 2015 beginning at 9 Eastern, 5 Pacific on TSN2. Stand corrected. 1 touchdown pass for Travis Lule. 2 running for Andrew Harris, who has 27 touchdowns in his last 31 home games. And has the football here and has some room. Second level first down near midfield.
Big block by Kirby Fabian to get out on middle linebacker Greg Jones. We've seen Jones scrape to the football nice, but Fabian's going to get out here and block him up, number 53. Watch 50 as he steps up, chips off his man, and then right to the second level, a big block to hold up Greg Jones. 11-yard gain by Andrew Harris.
Jeff Tedford yesterday highlighting the improvement of both Kirby Fabian and TJ Player, the Young guards in that offensive line. First down, Lule looks one way under pressure, and it's thrown out of bounds, incomplete. Arsenal closest man to it, but the rookie Daryl Wadd putting on more pressure on Travis Lule.
He stepped up a couple of times. I remember the beginning of the season, and Scott Milanovic telling us that they couldn't wait to get him back in the lineup. Daryl Wadd, Western,
all CIS. Second and 10. Lule throwing into traffic. Cauley comes up with it. Strong hands in front of Devin Smith. Will be short of the first down. And that's when Lule was fortunate to thread the needle.
Yes, he was. Inside out was Brandon Isaac, and Cauley fights him for the football and wins it. Isaac closes quickly. That's the second time. There was one throw like this in the first half. Travis Lule tried to get it in a tight spot like that. Got away with it in the first half, got away with it there.
Hey, look at this. Third down. And 3 to 3.5, 4 yards. Jeff Tedford leaving him on the field. Big play here. Quick hitter, slant, Arsenault incomplete. It's a turnover on downs, and that's an interesting call.
Yeah, you know, it is. It's right in that bubble area, though. We've seen it before, where it's a little too far for a field goal, kind of tight for a punt. If you don't get the kick perfect into the corner, you don't get the field position here. So we've seen this happen when you're sort of in that bubble area. There's the throw to Arsenault. Inside out, this time it was Corey Greenwood making the play.
I'm surprised. The conventional wisdom would be to pin, give the Argos a long field. You might have just given them a lot of life. Fake to Whitaker. Into the hands of Elliott. And Elliott at midfield has 6.
Well, it just flopped the field. That decision by Jeff Tedford just flops the field now, because even if Trevor Harris can't convert here on second and medium, the punt from Toronto would now put it deep into BC's end. So the gamble flops the field in Toronto's favor.
So the turnovers are 2 apiece. Difference here is that the Lions have 14 points off turnovers. Second and 4. And Harris to the outside, and he's got Torrey Gurley, who cuts back. Big extra yards for Torrey Gurley. And an Argo first down inside the 25.
Yeah, I thought that throw originally from Trevor Harris was in the wrong spot and maybe in trouble. But Gurley comes back. He goes back against the grain and comes up with it. It looked like Court Parks up there on the high corner. See, it's on the inside shoulder. Court Parks breaks downhill on that. He had a shot. Gurley gets there first and then rumbles for 32 yards, some yards after the catch there.
He's been more involved in the second half. It's the third 30-plus pass play by the Argos in this game. Lions have surrendered 10 on the year now. First down, into the hands. No, Whitaker on the play action, and it's Owens getting outside. First down. Well, little zone read from Trevor Harris. And a 12-yard pickup.
Well, there was 2 choices for Trevor Harris here, and both were good ones. He had Whitaker right here, and then he had Owens coming out and out to the flat. Both were open. Both would have made big plays. Look at Whitaker. He has a hole there that if he takes that, he probably gets that same type of yardage, but Owens out to the left also has outflanked the defense.
First down, Argos at the 11. They can make a first down without scoring a touchdown. Here in the red zone. Harris underneath. There's Chad Owens. And he'll be stopped at the 2 by the safety, Chris Rabakamba.
Well, you're bang on, Chris. I mean, a gamble that Jeff Tedford takes gives this offense a little spark for Toronto. Looks like Owens is limping a little bit. Will have to be replaced.
So Owens to the sideline. Brendan Galanders checks in. So it's 2nd and 1 for a first down. 2nd and 2 yards away from a touchdown. First time in the red zone. Argos 8 for 10 inside the 20 this year, and Trevor Harris is in for the touchdown.
Gave him half the field, and they did more than take that field position. Trevor Harris converts.
There's a touchdown off the turnover on downs, and it's game on now here at BC Place.
Gave them life. Trevor Harris now trying to get the signal from the bench as to whether or not to go for 1 or 2 points in this situation, but he takes on one of the best tacklers in the league, and Adam Bighill lowers that left shoulder and fights to the end zone.
First touchdown of the year for Harris. 5 plays, 61 yards. The touchdown drive, and now they'll go for 2 and try to get within a field goal of this Lion lead.
They've been good in the red zone.
See Gurley and Elliott conferring to make sure their assignments are right. And now Hazelton in motion to the near side. Fake to Whitaker. Into the hands of Elliott, and he's got it. Kevin Elliott got to the cone with that long reach, and it's a 3-point game here in Vancouver.
The fake to Whitaker pulls in Adam Bighill and allows Elliott to get outside.
Kevin Elliott with a touchdown in the first half, and he'll add 2 more there, breaking the plane. After the turnover on downs, Trevor Harris with the score. Now it's 21-18 BC.
Trevor Harris got off to a slow start, couple of picks in that first half, but he is rebounding now. 18 of 26, 213 yards passing. And just finished off that drive after the fake, or not the fake, but the gamble from Jeff Tedford on 3rd down did not work. Gave the Argo offense a little life, and Harris took advantage.
Scott Milanovic reflected back on the win at Mosaic when they were down at the half, and he said the confidence level of a young team was very high in that dressing room. And of course, they came back on a final minute drive to tie the game, win it in overtime.
Young team experience-wise in the CFL, but there are some players with pro experience, like the guy who started that last drive, Torrey Gurley.
And we're behind last week, or last game in Calgary by a couple of touchdowns, and had a chance to win that. 3 back now as Shaq Murray Lawrence meets up with Greg Jones, flying down on the teams once again. The middle linebacker with the tackle and a flag on the field.
Greg Jones put on a show tonight. Seen him run stopping, covering kicks.
During the return, illegal block, BC, number 11. It's a 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Penalty against Alex Hoffman-Ellis. Longer field for the Lions.
Penalty putting Travis Lulay in a tough situation, and as well as Greg Jones has played alongside Corey Greenwood, those 2 players play as aggressive as you'll see in the game.
So the Lions offense has been scuffling a bit. They'll get it in the flat to Courtney Taylor. He's tossed out by A.J. Jefferson. You take a look at Gregory Jones, and I know there's been a lot of talk in the first few weeks of the season about the penalties and the penalty totals. They're trending in the right direction, down. You know that this middle linebacker and the guy beside him in Corey Greenwood have not committed a foul all season. So it is possible for players to play aggressive football and not get a penalty. That's impressive. Big 2nd and 6 play here. Lulay going to take a shot. What's Arsenault? Manny drops the football. Looked like Manny had it at the Argo 45-yard line, but couldn't hold on.
Jeff Tedford told us that Travis Lulay this week in practice threw the deep ball more than he has all season long, and we've seen him tonight take some shots. This one to Manny Arcel. He had to get on his horse to get down there, had a crack at it, and went right through the bucket.
That was an accuracy issue deep last week with the conditions being what they were. Nothing wrong with the accuracy of that.
Now put it right on the hands.
So here's Leone, line drive boot. A.J. Jefferson's back. So you wonder about the status of Chad Owens a bit. You saw him limp off on the last series. See if Chad comes out for the next. Looks like he is going to check into the offense.
Chad Owens getting a little bit more involved as this quarter has gone on here in the third. Just one catch in the first. Here's his targets and the guys he's throwing to. You saw the big play by Torrey Gurley to start that last drive.
Still looking for his first 100-yard receiver of the season. Down by 3, they start at their 36. Fake to Whitaker, and into the hands of Elliott again. That big straight arm forced out by T.J. Lee, who thought it might have been a face mask, but no flag. 7 for Kevin Elliott. And Trevor Harris likes the variety of receivers he has at his disposal.
You look at our receivers, they look the part, and you watch them play, and they look the part as well there, and that's the most important thing. And we have big guys that can really run, and we have a slot receiver. His name's Chad Owens. I think you've heard about him. He's pretty darn good, and we're excited to have him back, and he's been the veteran leader that we need him to be, and it's given us the ability to spread the ball out.
And here's Whitaker looking for the first down on 2nd and 3. I think we're familiar with Chad Owens.
Yeah, we know a little bit about Chad Owens, and he's starting to make more of an impact. I'm looking at Kevin Elliott, who has now been matched up on T.J. Lee a lot more, and he's getting involved again this second half. T.J. Lee is just 5'9", 190. Elliott at 6'3", or just over that, 213. Lions played great in the back end in that first half. 5 for 74 for Kevin Elliott.
And a touchdown. Argo first down at their 47. Coombs into the game, and a little reverse to Coombs coming across, and well defended by Adam Bighill, forcing Coombs out around the 50. It's a pickup of 3.
Everything just to get Coombs to the edge there, because it looked like he was caught in the backfield. Eventually he's run down by Adam Bighill. Coming from your left side of your screen, Anthony Coombs going to come around and take that fly sweep underneath, that little shovel. Looked like Kareem Smith had him in the backfield.
Adam Bighill has 8 tackles on the night. 2nd and 6. Harris throwing, and Elliott got up to get it.
He'll get forward.
Had to reach back. Let's see what forward progress is. Should have been right at the first down stick.
Well, he reached out and ripped this out of the air. Again, looked like the throw maybe a little bit behind him, but he's got that long reach at just over 6'3". Goes out and rips it out of the air. And this time he's working in the zone coverage on Josh Johnson.
And it is another first down. And 13 looks like he's getting better by the week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is it's like a very potentially dangerous receiving core. Gurley's had a touchdown in every single game so far this year, except this one here tonight. He's getting more involved. We're seeing Elliott. That's his 6th catch. Elliott has a touchdown.
81 yards. And they're going to call it the end of the third quarter. So we're through 45 minutes. Argos with the football. Trail by 3, but threatening here after that tremendous start by BC. Lions poured out to a 3-touchdown lead. Much different football game now through 3 quarters.
Yeah, I'm going to go off the board here statistically and take a look at Travis Lulay. His first quarter, he was 9 of 10 for 121. Since then, He's 6 of 13 for just 27 yards passing. So the Argo defense has made the adjustments. They've been better on first down, putting Lule in second and long. Lule's taken some shots deep, and he hasn't been able to hook up with his receivers.
Did it cross your mind when it was 21-0 and he'd thrown 2 picks that maybe Trevor Harris was showing some signs of youth?
Well, you know, he's got to come back from that adversity. This is all new to him. He's coming back from the loss before the bye week. He had to come back from a couple of errant throws that...
Yeah, he's showing some resilience, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Now 1st and 10 in Lion territory. They send pressure. Harris steps up. He's looking for Hazelton, who brought it down out of bounds. They're going to rule incomplete. There was a flag. And is that in the illegal contact neighborhood?
Chad Owens said, don't worry, you were out of bounds, but...
Illegal contact on a receiver. BC, number 25. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's the short side corner, Ronnie Yell. Thought Harris might step up and run that time, but the illegal contact penalty gives him a first down now at the BC 43. Elliott and Gurley to the far side. And now Hazelton will come to the near side along with Whitaker. And a little confusion, and they have to take the timeout.
Timeout, Toronto.
Boy, a close game. You don't have to burn it now.
And Scott Milanovich told us yesterday it's still a work in progress with a lot of young players in the offense who are being asked to do a lot, and sometimes you do see that confusion breaking the huddle.
Yeah, he mentioned that about his receiving core too, and said, you know, they're still learning and they still make their mistakes. We still got to get them lined up right. And then he smiled and said, but there's a huge upside there. We're scratching the surface with these guys.
1st and 10, ready to go now. Play action fake, and they'll throw back to Coombs. He's got a convoy of blocks, and Anthony Coombs has a first down. TJ Lee burst through to contain him to just 15. It looked like there might be more there.
Great looking play for Anthony Coombs to... Receiver comes out of the backfield here, but Coombs goes in the opposite direction and sets himself up for this screen. So Trevor Harris sells it nicely here. A little play action now. He's looking like he's going hard to the right on that push route from Kevin Elliott, who's been a #1 target tonight, and then throws back to the backside screen. Maybe one of the most underrated plays in football, by the way, is the screen pass to a back out of the backfield.
Lion injury, trying to pick up a number. That's Stephen Clark. 25, correction. Ronnie Yell is the injured BC Lion, and they've had to make some adjustments here already without Ryan Phillips.
Ronnie Yell was getting blocked by Tyler Holmes. Gets pushed out of bounds on that play to Coombs. Screen pass out there, you'll see 67 lock up there with Ronnie Yell, and then he grabbed the left knee.
So Ronnie Yell gets attention. We'll step aside. Just into the 4th quarter. 3-point game. Brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade.
Alex Tillman will move in to play the wide side corner with the injured Ronnie Yell, and then move Cord Parks. Mark Washington moves his more veteran corner in Parks into the short side of the field.
This defense has surrendered at least 10 points in each of the fourth quarters they've played so far this year. Harris on first down. Gurley the catch. Flag comes down. See if this is coming back.
The biggest improvements for the Lions defensively tonight has been their run defense. The Argos have attempted 13 running plays, have just 39 yards rushing against the D that coming into tonight was giving up 156 a game, which is surprising with their linebackers.
Illegal block, hands to the face, Toronto, number 67. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
That's the veteran center, Jeff Keeping. So first down over, but now 1st and 20. Back at the 39, 8th play of the drive. Argos were comfortably into field goal range, now not so comfortable. four-man rush. Pressure on, and he throws it low. Coombs, the closest man to it.
Tried to run a center screen to Coombs, but the two interior D linemen, Greg Rowe and Michael Brooks, just kind of held their ground there. See, Trevor Harris tries to back up, and number 90 right here just said, no, you're going to have to throw that through me.
Boy, the Lions like their young defensive tackle, Michael Brooks. Craig Death Rose got his first sack last week. Brooks with 15 tackles already. Former Seattle Seahawk. So 2nd and 20, and a procedure call. It's the Argos signaling offside.
Procedure. Toronto, number 62. 5-yard penalty.
Rick Van Roten, the right guard, flinched.
This might be a good thing for Trevor Harris. You never think going backwards on a procedure call is a good thing, but watch Kareem Smith on this stunt. From left to right, coming down the middle here. He's going down Main Street. If this play is allowed to go, 94 hits Trevor Harris before he gets a chance to even get it up over in the position to throw.
Well, if they don't advance the ball, it would be a 51-yard field goal attempt. Short drop, quick hitter Hazelton gets some of the yards back. He's dropped by Big Hill at the 37, and Ronnie Peffer will come on to try and tie this game up. Looks like it should be a 44-yard attempt for Peffer.
Trevor Harris is the holder. Put that right in between, yeah.
5 for 7 on the season. First was a 50-yarder. 3 for 5 outside the 40. Peffer to tie it up. And he's got it. He's been quite an addition, filling the big shoes of Swayze Waters. A 21-0 lead has disappeared, and this game is locked at 21. Horse racing returns Tuesday with the Prince of Wales Stakes. Second race of the Canadian Triple Crown will be live 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN with our colleague Brian Williams.
BC Lions got to go back to number 33, Trevor Harris. Or Andrew Harris. 14 touches for over 100 yards in the first half and just 2 since.
Both guys named Harris have got their fingerprints all over this game. And look at Tristan Opalaugo crash down on Lule and bring him down. That zone read wasn't as smooth as we've seen.
Yeah, it wasn't, because Opalaugo got up the field so quickly. Basically played both of them. He got there right at the mesh point here in the play. And Corey Greenwood had stepped up into the hole to take Andrew Harris.
12 sacks last year. Looks like that could be his first of 2015. Just inches behind the original line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Here comes Opalaugo again, and that pass busted up by Devin Smith, and there was more heat on Lule, who thought there should have been a flag, looking for a face mask penalty at the end of the play.
There's Cauley right there, running the comeback. Just coming back on that curl, and he doesn't take a hard enough step back, and it allows Devin Smith a chance to close. Here's the hit on Lule. Thought he should have got the call there.
Leone rockets that, sending Owens way back inside his 15. And a 61-yard boot. Owens steps out just shy of the 30. And Trevor Harris will head out with an opportunity to take the lead.
Adjustments for the Argos defensively. Took Andrew Harris out of the game to give Trevor Harris more opportunities. I think that key drive on when Jeff Tedford went on 3rd down and didn't get it. Trevor Harris turned around, put it in the end zone, and they've had the momentum since.
Touchdown, 2 field goals in 4 possessions here in the second half for Toronto. Brandon Whitaker trying to get outside. Josh Johnson chases him down.
You're going to get a horse collar here.
Whitaker's slow to get up, but looks like he's okay.
May not be horse collar. It looked like he might have got
Major
it.
foul. Clipping. Toronto. Number 61. That'll be applied from the dead ball. Second down. Half the distance to goal.
Left tackle.
Well, first of all, it looked like the way Brandon Whitaker went down that it might have been a horse collar tackle, but wasn't. He just fought off the hand and then went down and made a good tackle. Josh Johnson in the backfield, and there's your penalty.
Cutting down Westerman. Second and 25. An open man is Hazelton. Adam Bighill on the scene once again. Hazelton the catch up at the 27-yard line. It's going to be third down.
A lot of talk about how Trevor Harris has done such a nice job of managing the pocket. Just being back in that pocket and making subtle movements. A little shoulder fake there. Just a little jump up and then move to his right. Managing the pocket, buying himself a little bit more time. One guy who does that very well is Bo Levi Mitchell in Calgary. They're going to have to punt, but he does that very well.
After the boot, Lions are winning that exchange of punt field position battle. Flag comes down, no yards will be added to the return after a 37-yard punt. Remains tied at 21. Travis Lulay getting set to try and untie it in Vancouver. Almost unbeatable here at BC Place again. The only loss against Edmonton back in July of 2012.
Now his number is not quite as big as the numbers you see on average there. Passing yards per game, 271. He's at 148 tonight, 63%. So close on the completion percentage, but a chance to take the lead here.
Different second half. 4 possessions, 3 2-and-outs and a turnover on downs as they run the fly sweep to Shaq Murray Lawrence. Trying to turn it back and does a good job of making something out of that at midfield. 35 has 5.
Just trying to. They know that the Toronto defense, the Lions offensively, know the Toronto defense is locking in on Andrew Harris. Casey Crehan's got him slowed in this second half.
Harris with 119 yards from scrimmage on the night, but only 12 here in the second half.
Audible here.
Harris stays in the block, and Lulay throws the out, and it's complete for a first down. Greenwood with the tackle. Catch made by Courtney Taylor.
Trying to go with that tempo offense again, so limits the substitution possibilities for the Argos on defense. It also means that Travis Lulay can't bring in any other personnel groupings.
4 catches, 35 yards for Taylor, who had 61 and was in the top 5 in receiving last year until he was injured after 11 games. Lulay over the middle. Colley took a peek and dropped the ball.
Colley upset with himself. I can tell by the way he left the line of scrimmage to the right of your screen, just running right through the middle, that he was the primary target, and Lulay had to just wait for him to get past the middle linebacker, Greg Jones. Very catchable ball there.
Brandon Isaac, Vince Agnew were in the neighborhood. 2nd and 10. Harris releases. Lulay bounces out of the pocket on the run, and that's broken up. A late flag on the play. This is going to be Jason Vega.
He got a push. Lulay was right on the sideline. That ball was almost intercepted there by Corey Greenwood.
Number 97, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Costly penalty. Keeps the Lion offense on the field.
See Vega tracking him down. That one very close. I always try and see, remember that's in slow motion, and I give Vega the benefit of the doubt on that one because it was that close. Question is, could he have peeled off the hit?
First down inside the 35, into the hands of Harris, and brought down behind the line of scrimmage, and there he is again. Greg Jones really becoming a force in the middle of that Argo defense.
Yeah, I think Casey Crean has just said to Greg Jones, you just key on 33. Don't worry about reading it, because he shoots the gap as if he's just going to cover Andrew Harris anyway. He just shoots the gap, beats the block by Kirby Fabian, and has Andrew Harris in the backfield before he can get started.
Loss of 2. Lions in Leone range, looking for more. They screen it, Harris, and he'll be stopped short of the first down. Argos rally to Andrew Harris, Opala Ugo, and Corey Greenwood on the scene. And Leone will come out to try and kick BC back into the lead.
And there goes Harris this way. Guess who's going with him? It's Greg Jones. And Jones takes a hit from behind that was missed as well. I'm not sure if Jason Foster fell into him or did it on purpose. No, he did it on purpose and got away with one.
39 yards. 38-yard attempt for Leone. And he's got it. Ends a string of 21 consecutive points by the Argos. Leone now 9 for 9. And BC with a 3-point lead here. Lots of time left.
Oh yeah, lots and lots of time. You got both teams have a few more possessions before this one's over, but Andrew Harris getting some work done on his calf. May have a cramp in that left calf. Of course, John Cornish going down and with a hand injury, finger injury in the Ottawa game.
They missed the first one. It was a beauty. Ottawa Red Blacks celebrate one of their biggest wins. Probably their biggest win since they beat the Argos for their first franchise victory. Trevor Harris downfield, and Elliott can't bring it down in that matchup against TJ Lee.
Looked like he had him. Trevor Harris stepped up and had Elliott on this deep out working. He's been matched up in the second half a ton on TJ Lee. Not sure if he would have been able to keep a foot in bounds there either. Right on the white stripe.
Ronnie Yelp has not returned, so Court Parks is on the short side corner. Alex Tillman on the wide side. The adjustment for the injury to Yell. The roll by Harris downfield. Owens takes a hit but holds on and somehow held on because he was punished at midfield. That's a gutsy catch in 20 yards for Chad Owens.
I think it was Alex Tillman who steps into the hit. He's replaced Ronnie Yell and moved over to Court Park's wide side corner, and he steps into this hit. Timing was right. Trevor Harris throws this down low, so at least Chad Owens can try to protect himself a little bit. Doesn't have to stretch out and expose his ribs or anything. Looks like he's slowly getting up.
What an enormous catch to move the chains. 7 second down conversion catches on the year. Paid a price for that one. But Scott Milanovich has a fresh set of downs in midfield.
I think they're stretching the right calf, maybe taking a look at that knee as well. Tough catch with Trevor Harris on the run, throwing back against the flow. Hopefully just a cramp for Chad Owens. Just able to protect himself just enough there, it looked like.
His biggest play of the night.
More involved late in that third and then here in the fourth quarter.
They'll have to sit out 3 plays. Again, Tillman into that secondary with the injury to Yell. See if they attack him. Reed Smith trying to rev up the crowd. Well, everything happened after the 3-minute warning in the last game here at BC Place. Just over 5 minutes to go in this game. Harris under duress. And a flag flies as Michael Brooks helps wrestle down the Argo quarterback.
Trevor Harris just mentioned or motioned to the bench like he got a face mask on that.
Illegal contact on a receiver, BC, number 28. BC, number 56. Both fouls will be applied. First down.
So a pair of penalties. Tillman for the illegal contact and the Elamimian face mask marching at 15 yards downfield.
Elamimian's late on the blitz here, coming right down the middle, and he does get the face mask of Trevor Harris. That was one of the two. Tillman gets an illegal contact wide side of the field.
They marched at 25 yards. Both penalties are assessed. Gives the Argos a first down at the line of 29.
That's the first penalty Solomon Elamimian has taken all season.
To Whitaker, and open is Dupuis. And the fullback has his first touch of the night. Second-year man out of the University of Montreal.
That's a tendency breaker. That's what we call those. Defensively, you don't scout that little screen to Dupuis, limping getting back.
Just like the last home game here for the Lions when Rolling Lambala's number gets called and surprises everybody for a big touchdown. Well, they are the leaders in red zone production. First down as the Argos look to take the lead. Harris steps up. Well, the throw back, he'll take off. And Trevor Harris has a first down. And steps out and crashes into the signage inside the 5.
Pocket presence again from Trevor Harris. Got his eyes down the field, and he's just negotiating the pocket. He gets the pressure up the middle, so he bounces outside, still looking to throw, but the wide side, or the short side of the field, I should say, opens up for him. And a great decision. That's why they're so good in the red zone, because they just run the offense. They don't necessarily take a shot when they're on the 19 or 18-yard line.
12-yard run, his longest of the year, sets up first and goal at the 5. Short drop, an open man, and is it a touchdown for Natea J? It is. His first touch of the game, and a J has put the Argos in the lead.
Well, now Trevor Harris just finding all his weapons, all his targets, some of the substitutions. Natea J on that push route right out to the flat where he just went down about 3-4 yards. Hard left turn, head right to the sideline. And did he cross the plane? It looks like he did.
First catch of the year. And it caps a 6-play, 75-yard drive.
That was a lot closer. They're taking a little bit longer of a look here to make sure, just to confirm that he got in the end zone before he was down by contact.
Mississauga product, played at the University of Buffalo.
Stretches out. Confirmed it.
And that confirms his first CFL touchdown, but Pepper has missed the extra point. Well, that was an issue in the first game tonight. Kept things interesting. And the Argo lead is only 3.
Not guaranteed anymore. Coming into this week, 1-point converts from the 32-yard line. Kickers were 15 of 22, 68%. It's not guaranteed anymore. What was an interesting stat, though, I noticed, because it may be mental for these kickers that they move back the extra point because they are perfect, the kickers in the league, between 30 and 33 in field goals. And yet 68% coming into this week in the 32-yard extra point.
And the straight 6 of the kickers have already hit field goals from over 50. With some long-range bombs, but the convert's a different beast, isn't it?
905, baby. That's the saga. All day, baby. All day. Target training. What up, baby? I see you, Jackson. I see you.
Target train's paying off.
Argos 2 for 2 in the red zone. And now up by 3. That's a shot for Lawrence. He's got 4-4 speed. And he'll be finally hauled down at the 35-yard line. Oh, a rookie here for BC. Rekindles Lions. Touchdown saving tackle there by Eric Black.
Middle wedge return. Watch how the wedge forms up in front of him. And now it's just up to him to read it and break off wherever. He takes it and goes right around, comes back to his left, and then takes it wide. And that's when that 4-4 can kick in. Black cuts off the angle, but a 63-yard return.
Guy from the 4-1-6 is pretty dangerous with that speed. The rookie, third-round selection. Lele throws the out, and wow, that was off target.
In between.
So the 3-minute warning given to the benches. Argos have the lead by 3, but Shaq Murray Lawrence with another big kick return as the Lions in field goal range. Brought to you by Wendy's Baconator and Bacon Poutine. Wendy's. Now that's better. Travis Lule and the Lions, 2nd and 10, down by 3 at the Argo 35. Stands in, throwing deep into the end zone, incomplete. Wanted Arsenault, but A.J. Jefferson in good position defensively.
Timing still off a little bit on this deep ball from Travis Lule to either Manny Arsenault. He's missed Austin Cauley. Arsenault, the wide receiver out here again. He looks like he's coming more post pattern or post seam. And Lule's throwing the straight go route, which is straight down the field without that move. And you can see he places the ball outside. Manny Arsenault has to become DB there. Well, that's picked.
So here's Leone. 9 for 9 so far. Trying to tie it at 42. And he's perfect. Once again.
Trevor Harris has made a huge comeback after a slow start, a tough start to this game with a couple of picks, and he now has the game in his hands. 2:22 is plenty of time, can run the regular offense. Tie football game, he needs field goal range, which for Pepper, not much farther over half field.
At Mosaic, he started at the 35 with just over a minute to go, drove the Argos downfield to tie the game, force overtime. Last game against Calgary, they had the ball with about a minute to go and could not cap the drive. Here's a good start as Torrey Curley drilled out of bounds by Big Hill, but it's a first down up at the 51.
Yards after the catch, the difference here. High percentage throw for Trevor Harris. I didn't on that first play see Chad Owens back in the lineup. He had a cramp issue, so may not be available for this important drive for Toronto.
Argos 4th straight game out west before they play their first in Southern Ontario next week. Trying to go 3-1. Coombs takes that little short pass, in some trouble with Josh Johnson there, but a flag comes down at the end of it as Johnson grabbed face mask on the tackle.
Yeah, he's upset with himself. When Anthony Coombs turned around, the first thing he saw with the ball in his hands was number 56. Last year's outstanding player.
Major foul, face mask, BC, number 23, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Take a look. I think there's any question that Josh Johnson got the left hand, and you can see the head of Anthony Coombs pull inside. Correct call made by the official. And that gives Trevor Harrison his set of downs and about 5-6 yards from making comfortable field goal range.
They get 16 on the pass to Gurley, now 15 on the penalty. And they're set up at the line 44 with just over 2 minutes to go. In the pocket he stands and drills it to Anthony Coombs.
Scott Milanovic is going to want to milk the clock here. He's in field goal range now.
But maybe a passing situation. No Chad Owens to
Passing.
Sorry,
Chris, passing, but high percentage passing. Move the chains, try and work down this clock. You're in field goal range now. You want to force it intermediate or long and cause the turnover.
We're getting accustomed to these finishes, aren't we? Keep them coming. Here's the short pass, and Gurley outfights.
That's big.
Gordon Parks, that's a huge catch, and Gurley's had an enormous second half.
Huge because Trevor Harris wanted the high percentage throw to Brandon Whitaker out of the backfield. He wanted to throw it out here. That was well covered. I believe it was Solomon El-Mimi that took Brandon Whitaker immediately. It forced Trevor Harris now to force it down to that intermediate range, but his receiver comes back and Gurley wins the battle.
Gurley 5 catches, 71 yards, all have come in the second half. And Trevor Harris has his second 300-yard game of the season. Get it off.
Timeout, Toronto.
And Scott Milanovic bails out his offense by calling a timeout just before a time count violation.
The play that was called didn't get the right. Now it looked like Chad Owens now has got his helmet back on and he's trying to get back in the lineup, make sure. And that may be one of the issues that Scott Milanovic noticed. Chad Owens coming back into the game. He didn't want to get the penalty, so he calls the timeout. Get that veteran leadership back in the huddle.
The Lions will likely have to use a timeout to stop this clock because the Argos could really run it down now in field goal range.
Clock management, very important here. Milanovic could, in this play, basically, in the snap of the ball, get it down right around the minute mark, or just below.
Trevor Harris's football, and he doesn't want to give it back. Brandon Whitaker got room on this left side, and it closed down by Big Hill and Parks at the 21. Now did the Lions use their timeout?
Timeout.
Yep.
BC.
If the Argos can convert on 2nd and 6, they should be in complete control.
Absolutely, and close enough now that can win with a single, even if the field goal attempt is missed.
Dave Moyer just telling me 9 for 18. Scott Milanovic's offense in second down conversions. That's an enormous improvement over 5 for 17 in their last game in Calgary.
Well, with 2 backs in the backfield, run it down and grind the clock.
They're looking for something, and it's not there. So 3rd down, field goal team will come on. And it's on the foot of rookie Ronnie Peffer, who missed a convert that has the Argos in a bit of a bind here.
When they blow this in, Trevor Harris will again try and run this clock down another 20 seconds off it. Give Travis Lulay
Golden Hawk surveying a 24-yarder for the lead. Taking it right down. And Pepper puts it through. Argos have the lead. And 46 seconds remaining for the Lions to do something about it.
Nice clock management. It was right at 1 second when Trevor Harris called for the football, got it down on the tee. 3-point game and give Travis Lulay minimal amount of time here, 46 seconds. Time for 5, maybe 6. He's missed on the deep throw tonight a few times.
Again, Leone has hit from 56 yards already this season. Some work to be done. They had some last-minute heroics at the last home game. What's Travis Lulay got tonight? Little shovel to Harris. Brandon Isaac after him. Harris trying to get to the sidelines and did, but got punished by Travis Hawkins.
Got to the sideline and just out. Took 10 seconds off the clock. Lulay just making it up as he goes along there. Felt the pocket collapse, and
how huge a play is that by Harris to get out of bounds and save some time. Injured Argo way back in the secondary, and that's A.J. Jefferson.
Well, if the trainer's out there, he's going to have to come off.
He's done.
He's got to come off for 3 plays once the trainer gets out there. Now they're going to tell him to take a knee so that Scott Milanovic can find who's going to be the replacement and how they're going to juggle the secondary.
This may be an area that the Lions could go after. Jefferson's done such a terrific job against Arsenault all night long.
Oh, he just caught his left toe on his heel. But it has been a quiet night for Manny Arsenault.
Going to move Akwasi Owusu-Ansah to that short side corner. Isaiah Green checks in. He'll move to the wide side corner.
And I was wondering, with the BC Lions here, you're going to see Toronto give these receivers a little bit of space. They don't want to give up that one play behind them. And if they give up space, it's usually the wide side. That's where Sean Gore comes in and catches that little fly and die on the sideline. And now with the substitution, we'll see if they go after him, go out to that side.
Jeff Tedford's offense needs somewhere between 20, 25 yards to give Leone a chance. And if he has to match his career best of 56, they only need 19. But it is second down. Need to keep the chains moving too. Harris out of the backfield. Lulay under pressure, has got to throw it away. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Boy, and Andrew Harris is explaining to the Argo bench as he walks back to the huddle that he would have had the first down and then some. But the pocket collapsed. Full credit to the Argo defensive front, because they shut down the throwing lanes, and Andrew Harris had tons of room to the wide side of the field. If not for that defensive pressure, they might have got in field goal range on that play.
Trying to keep hopes alive of a 3rd consecutive win. They need 3. Lulay throws, it's incomplete. And the Argos have turned it over on downs for the 2nd time tonight. The first was the turning point, and the Argos have fought back from 21-0 down to win here at BC Place.
Not sure which DB jumped this one, but Lulay was trying to throw a timing route there. Really
Brandon Isaac?
Yeah, Brandon Isaac was right underneath that throw. That's a signal from Scott Milenovich for victory formation.
Young team that seems to be growing by the week. They were upset that they didn't close the deal against Calgary. But how about coming out west to play Edmonton and Fort McMurray, the Rough Riders at Mosaic, the Stampeders at McMahon, and then the Lions here, and to go back home 3-1.
Trevor Harris fighting through the adversity of the loss before the bye. To come off of that, had a longer time to think about the loss. 2 early picks that he had to get behind him, and what a big second half for Trevor Harris.
One more snap. Handshakes on the sidelines, 3-1. The Argos have yet to play in Toronto. Ball game. Trevor Harris puts down a knee. Time for the Nissan Titan Player of the Game, brought to you by Nissan, the official vehicle of the Canadian Football League.
2 first-half picks for Trevor Harris. Good plays by Cord Parks, Ronnie Yellen, and then he came back in the second half, got some confidence back, scored after Jeff Tedford tried a 3rd down gamble, didn't get it. Finished that drive with his own touchdown, and Trevor Harris fought through adversity tonight.
30 of 40 for 340. And evened up the ledger with touchdown passes, 2 interceptions, and now has a league-leading 11. Congratulations from Ricky Ray as Toronto moves to 3-1. The Lions look like they were on their way to their 3rd win. 3 touchdowns for Andrew Harris, but their record drops to 2-2. Good football game, 30-27 the final. So long from Vancouver. SportsCenter is now